Hey there everyone, Johnnie here. I am at the beautiful and glorious Lake Shawnee in springtime. Flowers are blooming, the Ted Ensley Gardens are right down the way, they're full of tulips. It's just drop dead gorgeous. There's baseball and softball going on, so there's a little noise. I actually thought about going to a game, and there's a women's softball game going on right now. But I opted to make a brain dump. So a lot has happened in the last few months. Primarily, I fractured my foot, and I was in a boot for 2 months. I fractured a toe bone, the toe right next to my big toe. I fractured it, and it's in a critical position for the support of my foot. And if it collapses, my foot has to have surgery, and it's not real happy. I have a collapsed foot. People ask me, hey, do you have any advice for a new chef? Run away, don't do it. It hurts your body later. Now, I really had a great time working as a cook and a chef, and I wouldn't trade the experience for the world, but I'm dealing with so many problems afterwards. The collapsed foot, yes. The fractured toe, I tripped over my cat in the middle of the night, and he fractured my toe. Well, I went up on my tippy, and I hurt, and I felt something, but it didn't hurt for a while, and then finally it started hurting. I couldn't get down to the basement to paint or to create. I worked on some things. I'm working on some new zines. I did get to the Omaha Zine Fest. Omaha Zine Fest totally rocked. Hey Daphne, thank you so much. We got to go out to eat at Modern Love, and we went with the organizers of the Kansas Zine Fest, which is now open for applications and is September 8th. I'm excited about that. We had a great meal. Shout out to Chandra. Thank you so much for creating a restaurant where the dining experience is unique and intimate and glorious. The food was spot on, no complaints. It's a lake, there are boats. The Omaha Zine Fest in and of itself was really, really outstanding. I actually made a little bit of money. I sold some zines, yay! Things Vegans Fry did the best, because people saw it and they were like, wow, this is great. I'm gonna make some of this food, and they bought my zine. So the new zines I'm creating is a microzine format about spices. So I've taken all this knowledge that I've garnered over the years in my research about the food world and food history and knowledge, and I'm condensing it into little microzines. And I think some of the zines, some of the topics, some of the spices are going to have their own 8-page, 5.5 by 8 format, because I was working on saffron the other night, and there's just so much information about saffron. It is one of the world's oldest spices with a very long history. Wasn't getting down to the basement to do brain dumps. I wasn't creating anything else, and I was feeling sorry for myself. And one of the things I had to do was pull myself up out of the dumps and decide that I'm okay. I'm okay right now. I was really starting to feel like the universe is against me, all these body issues, all these problems. I'm never going to get anything done. And I have so many friends out in the world who are on disability, who have issues, who've torn themselves up, and they still manage to create. I'm sitting there whining and feeling sorry for myself. And it's like, well, crap, you've got this perfect opportunity to start working on some new zines. Do it. So guess what? I started working on new zines. Yay! There's going to be a zine coming out soon. I've been writing some personal stories, and those are gonna come out at some point. I pitched to this one storytelling show that's coming to Lawrence, Kansas, and it's called Risk. And they want stories that you only would tell your therapist, or you wouldn't tell in a mixed crowd. And I spent some time working on 2 pitches, which meant I had to write out the stories, so I did that. It took me about 3.5 hours, and they came back and they said, well, these are really great, but not what we're looking for. pitch us again. And I didn't go back and I didn't re-pitch because my time got sucked up with other stuff we do. Cooking, once I got out of the boot, which was a couple weeks ago, I'm back in the kitchen again. Cooking is my creative outlet, or it's actually my mindfulness activity, because it puts me right in the process, right there in the process. I'm in the process, I'm working, I'm creating, I'm transforming one thing into another, and I feel so good when I do it. So I got out on the grill and I made roasted salsa, I grilled some portobello mushrooms, I grilled some corn. It was all about grilling. I made all this food, yay! So my spouse was like, oh my God, food, yay! It made her so happy, made them so happy. It's so beautiful out here. It's just, I mean, I miss my desert and I love my desert and I love my desert in the springtime, but there's so much green. It's so green! And there's a lake. And I'm actually thinking I need to rent a boat and get on the water, which scares me. One of the things I've been thinking about doing is attempting things that I've been afraid of. And I've got a list, I'm starting a list. It's not a bucket list, it's just do these things because these things are the things you've been afraid of all your life. I want to go experience things. I want to experience people. I still want to get to some of the great monuments. I still want to hike some trails. I still want to, do things that I haven't done before. I want to ride a motorcycle. I was supposed to. I had a motorcycle in my possession, a little tiny one for a while, that I was supposed to rebuild, and that didn't happen. I was supposed to get lessons, and I didn't. I was supposed to, there was a lot of things that supposed. And I got a couple of ideas for a couple of new canvases I haven't painted in a long time, and I'm excited about them. So hopefully I'll get those knocked out in the next couple of weeks. Ta-da! Time for an announcement. I applied for and got into the Denver Zine Fest. So I am going to be in Denver June 24th. It is a Sunday. It's at the McNichols building in Denver, and it's gonna be I'm looking forward to this. We have friends in Denver, so we're gonna stay with them, and I get to see my buddies, and I get to take my zines and hang out in Denver. It's gonna be a turnaround trip, 2 nights, 1 day, but hey, I'm excited. So these Zine Fests, I really love them because they're easier to get into, and then say the Veggie Fest, that's huge competition. Be a demo chef in a Veggie Fest. These Zine cons, they're great. They're small press. People are there collecting. And the other exciting thing on the zine front is that I found out that Barnard College in New York City is collecting and gathering zines. They have a certain mission, and they're looking for feminists and other like non-binary voices. So I messaged them, I emailed them, and she got back to me, and they accepted Please Don't Call Me a Lesbian, I'm a Freak zine. So that's going to be cataloged and added to the Barnard College zine library. I was amazed, I was surprised, I'm excited. There's other places I can donate my zines to that I'm working on sending some out for donation. Sent one to Austin, and another guy got back to me from Massachusetts. So there's a way to get your work out there so that people will see it. With that, I'm going to say adieu. Thank you for watching. You know what to do. Subscribe to this channel, hit the notification button, and we will see you next time I make one of these things.